In the February 2019 version of FXDraw, we introduced an Earth Geometry tool, which you can find at the bottom of the Maths Tools list. Select the Earth Geometry tool and sweep out a square, and you'll get a globe rendered in blue and green. If I right click on the globe, I can start creating paths and changing how the globe looks. So there's 5 different ways of rendering, all the others are black and white, but let's add a path. So we're going to go from Perth to London. In case you don't know the latitude and longitude of Perth and London, you can click on the search button. The search button will pull up a database of about 13,000 different locations around the world where we can start searching. So we could, for example, start typing in Perth and select Perth that we're after. We can choose to output the result as either rounded or exact values, and that's loaded the first part of the path. And let's complete that by going to London. United Kingdom, again we'll have rounded values, and say OK, and OK, and there's my path from Perth to London. Now at the moment it's rendered as going along the line of latitude first and then the line of longitude. I can change that. So for example, I can choose a great circle path or a line of longitude first then latitude. As I change that, the tool is calculating the appropriate distance travelled. So we'll go back to east-west first, say OK. Where the tool starts becoming very powerful is I can click and move it and have a look at the path better, or I can hit the right and left arrows and rotate my Earth. I can also pick up this slider and reduce the transparency or increase the transparency of the Earth and start looking at the internal geometry of what's going on in that particular situation. So you can see the circle of latitude and the central angle. I can also change the transparency of my Earth using the normal transparency slider. There are a lot of other options available. I can change the color and style of the path. I can also change whether it's showing the central axis and the poles and the equator and an outside circle. Sometimes you might want to make up a question using the tool. That can be done very easily. So for example, if I know I want to go along the equator, if I put in a search latitude of 0, locations which have a latitude of approximately 0 will come up. So I'll choose Buluko in the Congo as one spot. You'll notice it's come through as 1 degree south, so it's not quite on the equator. There's nothing to stop me actually editing it, so to produce a question that's suitable for students, I might want to actually make it on the equator. If I go to the second 0 degrees latitude, I've got other options also on the equator. So we'll choose somewhere in Ecuador. So the location database allows you to build a question that suits your particular needs. Finally, if I choose auto rotate, the resulting output will automatically sit there and rotate for you, so you can actually demonstrate what's going on to students in a dynamic way.